The 80s are in full swing, and while Cisalpina is doing quite well and has money to waste on racing projects, their lineup is slowly aging. The old supercar, the Cuneo, was designed in 1970 and a lot of time has passed and it's really time for a new version. The Freccia, our entry-level sports car, is also just 3 years younger, and while it's still selling nicely, it's probably also just about time to think about the future. Also, emissions regulations will be more severe in the future, so we need to check if our lineup is future-proof. The only thing that's safe is the Boreale. It will be released in about 2 years. And of course our Group C car, which is just a racing effort, and we won't sell any of those to the public. Let's dive right in. Let's see when we want to design the new car and what technological advances we want to make. So I've already given this a little bit of a thought, and I have not come up with a very good solution, because the main problem is our V12 engine is still in engineering for almost 2 years, until the Boreale is released in April 1985. And only then we can start a new variant of this engine. The V12 of course is the best solution for our supercar, because we have our own V12 engine factory, so producing it will be reasonably cheap. Outsourcing such a complex engine to a contractor would really kill our margins, and I would like to avoid that. So the only option we have is build a new V8 engine for our supercar and introduce the V12 later, or wait for 2 years, start a new engine project when the other one is done in 1985, and maybe profit from other technological advancements that have been made in the meantime. So let's first check out the R&D overview and see which car body we want to use and which technology we want to wait for. So from a car body's perspective, in the near future we have this NSX style, which I don't think is good enough for an Italian sports car. It will immediately look Japanese again. Then we have this F40 style, which I already tried in Sandbox, and it's pretty, yeah, the morphs are pretty limited. It's quite an old body. And we have the Caspita, which is the most likely candidate for now. Other than that, we don't have any recent bodies that are not Group C and mid-engined. So it's a little bit limited in this age. But I also don't want to go back too far. There's no real option, so we have to go with the Caspita, and at least it won't look immediately like an F40, because this one always will look like one. So the conclusion is, we don't have to wait for a new body, we already have it. I just see this one, the Lister Storm body, might also be something, but I'm not, it's very bulky in the rear. I think we can create something more beautiful with the Caspita. So this body it is. Then, technology-wise, I am not so concerned when it comes to engine technology right now, although we may want to build a 5-valve engine at some point. What I would like to have is the carbon fiber chassis, and this would be released in 1988, and we have currently a tech pool of 3, and it's slowly being reduced because we have turned down our research there. So if I put that back up to 3, we will keep our 3-year advantage, and it will unlock in 1985, which is exactly the time when the V12 engine gets out of engineering, and we can start a new car with a carbon fiber monocoque, kill all of our safety concerns we always have, and have the V12, and can make it into a proper sports car engine, because currently it's kind of a lazy V12 for the GT. So I like this idea. Other than that, yeah, no all-wheel drive, that's not important. ABS and traction control would be nice, although it feels like a very big step. I'd rather just start with ABS, and this will unlock automatically very soon. So we will have ABS also on our car. Also standard AT safety will unlock, which is good. This is probably what I want to use. And else there's nothing that I want to wait for. So basically with just 230,000 more and waiting until 1985, I think we have a very good foundation for a new supercar. The only problem I have is that we have to wait for almost 2 years. And probably I won't do anything in the meantime. The only thing I want to check is, what are our cars doing? Because Frecchia will get up to OS 7. And I see that the Spider Mark II is just OS 5 so far. But we have the Spider Mark III ready. So I think this is the Cuneo is the critical one, but I also want to check out the Freccia if it makes a WES 6, and I think some of them won't make WES 7. So let's just check what they are doing. We'll go to the company museum, therefore, and take a look there. So we have the Mark III. And I think we said last time we don't care about WES 7 for this one. Yeah, this will fail. And this is already the Spider version, so the Berlinetta is a bit more aerodynamic, so it will be a bit more fine. But WES 6 is definitely possible with those. So the Cuneo is out in 1987 in Fuenia. For the rest, we can still sell it, but we cannot limit it to not be sold in Fuenia. So we have to pay the fines. What about the Boreale, which will soon be released? Boreale is ready. No problem at all. Up to WES 8 already. Probably also the Cinghiale version. The Cinghiale has a less lazy V12 engine version, but it's only 310 horsepower. So I don't think that's enough for a late 80s supercar. But still, this will do WES 8 almost. So WES 7 definitely. We are good with that one as well. And the Freccia, the Group B will be cancelled as soon as the Group C car is released, because we will enter that factory with it. So I don't care about the Group B. Okay, the Freccia has a problem. We need an update for the Freccia, because it's selling a lot. Yeah, you see so many in the light sports category, and mostly those are probably Freccias. We can also break it down. Yeah, you see it here. We have 160 cars in the light sports category, 20 more in light sports premium, and 10 more in light sports budget. Probably also quite a few in sport. Yeah, so all of our sales basically in Fuenia are the Freccia. I think it is time to do this facelift and try to make it emission proof. So we will no longer update the Group B version. Group B will be dead anyway, anytime soon, although we of course don't know it until the crazy accidents happen. But let's delete the Group B. Let's just try to bring them up to date and make them properly work with the new emissions regulations. So let's first update the car and then the engine, because then we have all of the boundary conditions. Currently 26% margin on WES 7. I think we should be able to do that. So here we don't do anything. I think we're good here. We don't need to do changes that just cost us money. We can give it a little wider tires, just as a small upgrade. Maybe even 15 inches. Still, it's on magnesium. Could also try to save some cost there. Nah, let's just stick with what we have. Brakes are still okay. Aerodynamics wise, I don't want to spend any weight on that. Sport interior. Yeah, the entertainment package can be upgraded to cassette. This is the major upgrade probably. No traction aids. Advanced 70 safety. Yeah, safety regulations might also be interesting. Hedvisia is the main problem there. 30 in 1990. It would be great if we meet them. 35 for Hedvisia. Oh god, they're killing me. 25 for Gasmia. 30. Also, the Lua is making the big step. And Achana doesn't care. Okay. So, Hedvisia is probably again something we won't be able to meet with 35. But 30 is the minimum goal for Fuenia. We need to invest something there. We only have 27. So, safety upgrade. Advanced ATs, and we're exactly at 30. Let's go up one with the quality just to be safe. I don't know if it's 29.9999 and round it up to 30 or not. So that's probably necessary. Now the car is a bit heavier as well. So we need to check if we can upgrade the engine a bit to make it a bit more desirable. Failing safety standard it says, and that's for Hedvisia, unfortunately. And I don't think I can make 35 without major investments. How many clicks of safety? Oh yeah, too many. So, no Freccia for you, Hedvisia. And now let's upgrade the engine. We could also use the V6 engine, although we don't have a factory. A down-tuned V6 engine as a high-level trim for the Freccia. I like that. Let's first work with the inline 4. Or do we want to bring it all up to V6? That's a very difficult decision. 1.5 liter is not right anymore for the late 80s, right? Although we always had entry-level sports cars. Let's try. Let's try and see if we can get something more out of this. And maybe switch away from the carburetor. Maybe. Make it MPFI. We'll still stick with the regular fuel, because it's nicely available. It had long tubes, so let's stick with that. And give it a proper catalytic converter. Normal one will do, no high flow for this. And we're almost there. Over 7. But we need to get something more out of this. Alright, where are we at? 115 horsepower. Let's go for performance high maybe. There's no major downside. Also, service cost is not a big issue, I hope. Don't see the service cost here. There it is, no difference. So let's just give it the big one. And we can also do some emissions optimization. We increased the compression quite a bit, and therefore we fail the NOx, but now we can make it nicer, and we can bring it up to S8 easily. Don't want to go further up there because I think it's cheating the system a bit too much. Let's go just to when it turns green, because we don't get any engineering hit when we use the emissions optimization. I will also reduce quality here. Yeah, it's still super lightweight, so 120 horsepower is more than enough for this. And then we can run it until the 90s, and we will definitely have an upgrade before that. Okay, also it's looking very green again. Let's do the same for the Targa. And emissions are green. Okay, quick one for the Targa. And now let's just do it Cinghiale version of the Berlinetta. The Cinghiale black. Let's give it the Cinghiale badge. Alright. Let's give it different rims. And then let's give it a different engine. Based on our V6 Group B. Yeah, the Group B version was basically our homologation car. We sold it to the public, so it's not something new. But now we won't have the wing on it. That was a mistake, but I will add another wing and make it a little bit more refined and less aggressive. It's no longer the rally homologation version. It's now a proper sports car for the road. Yeah, this one was also a little bit too much. We will keep it turbo, but make it actually usable. It's pooling already at 2,500 for now. I think we are running into some kind of surge. Premium is fine. Premium fuel. (240 horsepower). And emissions optimization probably necessary, yes. But not much. Yeah, 2 is already enough. Okay, and then let's upgrade this a little bit. It's not the most beautiful one, but it's alright. And of course, we need wider tires for this one. Then we need to make sure that it's not killing us. 250 kilometers an hour. Small diff upgrade. This project might become very expensive again because we're in a big factory. But still having a few issues with reliability and so on. But maybe we can... Yeah, the V6 engine is also not yet engineered properly. So maybe we can get some more out of this. And it's not a problem if it doesn't sell a lot. Just hope this project won't kill us. Cost-wise, oh, it's okay. 30 million, but the engine will also take a little bit. Also, 1 year is definitely fine. We can do it cheaper. We can do it in 2 years or something. Just need to be there for 1986, I think. Yeah, 1986. So we can really take our time. 2 years is more than fine. And then we have 2 engine projects. Oh god. We need to tone down reliability here on the inline 4. So this is what's expensive. 24 months. 24 million. Oh god. 1 million per month. So that one is fine. And then the E6. Very quick one. Ah, nice. Because we already had the MPFI on there. There we can turn up the reliability slider. Make it cost a little less. 24 months, 18 million. Still quite expensive. 14.2k per engine. Or 15.5 it says here now. Including engineering. But still I think it makes sense to have a more reasonable Cinghiale trim. And not the totally bonkers one. Question is just, do we want to have the Cinghiale in this factory? I don't have an empty factory right now, and I don't want to build another one. It's not too much that it's costing. And still, at least the Cinghiale will be cheap to produce. 16.5 is basically the same that we had. Let's up it to 17. Also, this is basically the same that we had. Let's lower it to 20. And this one we lower again also to 20, to 40 as we had before. And then we are definitely there. $70 million in 2 years. In addition to what we already have the Boreale project. Can we make that happen? I'm still gonna take a small loan. Let's say 30%. Repay over 5 years. Just to be safe. I'm not sure how much money we will need for the Boreale, so let's play it safe with this loan. Just to have a little bit of money left in the bank. Okay, let's sign it off. This was harder than I thought. And then we will wait until the end of the Boreale project. And then engineer the new supercar. Here the carbon fiber chassis is also already in the pipeline. We can watch when it's available. It's actually 18 months away. And then let's quickly check the Frecchia. We have lots of stock. So we should probably reduce the production for now. Just to be safe that we don't have too much stock. For the Cuneo, we still have a little bit of a backlog. Because of the facelift that recently finished. So we are good there. And the Futurismo. Oof, 60 months already there. And it's still producing. Production of trim, please. Yeah, definitely we are still producing and we have 500 vehicles in stock. Oh god. Let's hope we can sell half of those still. Okay. I lost a bit of my overview as we have been busy doing racing projects. But at least we are making a profit again. Still. Just before we start working on the factory or the Boreale. Yep, now the Boreale is there. The factory construction is starting soon. And yes, we are losing money. That's probably the V12 engine factory that has kicked in now. And soon the car factory will kick in. But before that, we have discovered that our racing project, the Group C, We'll need a bit more money, but it's just 32k. That's alright. So it's 1984, the Group C project is ready and we can take it to the road. Let me quickly produce for 1 month and then stop production immediately. Okay, how many cars do we have? 15. That should be enough for a few seasons. It's not that much of a death trap that we will need all of those cars. So, racing shed. Or let's just delete it from here. Pause the production. And then go into the racing shed and remove it. So, we just designed a factory, no new project. And we don't do anything, no upgrades. No reworking, just stop. Don't cost us anything. And we have removed it. So we can now, as we never will sell one of those, we can now scrap them, which just means we give them to our racing team. So that is removed from the list here. Or let me keep it on there. I still have plans. Now we need to wait until the Boreale is done. And keep an eye on the rest of our production. We are losing money quickly. And I think it was a good call to take the small loan for the Frecchia Facelift. Carbon fiber monocoque is ready. ABS is ready. CVT is ready, although we won't use that, of course. Just need to wait now until the Boreale is done. A few more months. And in the meantime, I want to check the Freccia. And oh god, the pre-orders. Oh god, people still want the Group B car, but I will pause the pre-orders. I think it's enough. I still have 13 pre-orders remaining, which we won't be able to sell. This really has declined the demand for the old Freccia version, because it doesn't have a cassette player. And has still the old smoky carbureted engine, of course. But yeah, we will sit on a bit of stock. Heavy discount. Factory is running at the minimum. We cannot produce less. Yeah, at least we bumped the sales a bit. And I think it was a good call to take 30 million loan for the Freccia. And there we go. Finally, the Boreale is back. And I will give it 1 more month just to see how the financial situation changes. Hopefully for the better, because... Oh, credit score is back to B. Nice. Now that the factory for the Boreale has been taken into account, and mostly the V12 engine factory. Company valuation is back up there. That's very good to see. So we could have done without the loan and just survived, but it's better this way. Okay, back to nice profits. The Boreale really helps now. Although, yeah, it's looking good. And the Boreale gives us a lot of emissions credits because it's so green and so environmentally friendly with its V12, 4-liter V12 engine. Very nice. And now finally back to the topic of this video. We want to build a new supercar. New car project. Supercar. So just because I could, I tried the Storm body, but I really didn't like its morphing and how it looked. So we will go with the original plan and take the Caspita. And we have several options there. We can take a look. So this is the normal one, but there's also one with the gull wing doors. I'll probably choose that one. So now material discussion. We can do the carbon fiber monocoque. Question is just, do we want to go fiberglass or, as always, aluminium? I think this will be super light anyway with carbon fiber, so we can just go with aluminium. It's more prestigious and we have more experience with it, and it's cheaper. So as long as you don't have the automation in place. That's a bit better, I think. Mid-longitudinal, double wishbone, of course. We'll clone a variant of the V12. Let's take the Cinghiale as a base. Oh, what a massive thing. Let's just check if this fits. Rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. Looking good. So now let's check this. Okay, this is a Targa version. We can build convertible here, that's good. This is the normal coupe. And this is the gull wing door coupe. I might go with this, just because it's more special. This is a bit too concept car for me. I need some kind of rollover protection. So that's the 3 coupe versions that we have. And I'll probably go with this one. And let's do a quick round through engineering just to have a complete car. It will be rear-wheel drive. I don't think it makes sense that it's all-wheel drive already. Manual, of course. 5 gear. 6 gears would be nice by now. I'm expecting 200 miles an hour. So let's gear it for 320 plus. And here the helical limited slip diff. Not the race one. It would be more sporty, but it's less drivable, less comfortable. It should still be a good car to drive. Sports, of course. Yeah, rears could be a little bit wider, but we can do that later. Still magnesium wheels, lightweight, vented disc, fully clad. We want this to be proper fast. And then interior is handmade. Be proper luxurious. And for the first time ABS, but of course no power steering. And standard AT safety should be fine, as we have the carbon monocoque. Our standard spring setting. What's here? Just some basic settings for now. And then let's see. It's looking good already. 284 is of course not enough. This should now be proper supercar territory. How does it look like here? Yeah, it could probably be moved a little bit further to the front. Like this. And now the decision, how do we want to upgrade the engine? Of course, we now have a bit of experience with turbochargers, but also I like the idea of it being naturally aspirated. But I'll probably go for the turbo. Just not too aggressive, just to bump it up a bit. Not 1 bar, 0.6 maybe. And I think a twin turbo will do just fine. Twin scroll or not? Let's try twin scroll. Quad would be a bit... it would be nice though. But we still have time in this campaign. Aiming for around 500 horsepower, not too much more. Throttle per cylinder, yes. But it's not really necessary for turbocharged, right? I think that's just overkill. Performance intake, that's for sure. And then here we go again for 95 run, as 98 is not yet available in Frecchia. Dual exhaust. We need the race header because it looks nicer. So these lines look basically okay. I just run way too much compression. Turbo is a bit oversized still, so we can make it spool a bit earlier. But we're at 500 horsepower. That's exactly where I want it to be, without stressing out the engine too much. Although we could rev it to 1000 RPM. But we have a little bit of power problems because we are using forged pistons, the light ones. We can use the heavy ones. Oh, yeah, we need to use the heavy ones. And we can up the boost a little bit. Twin scroll is better. Yeah, a bit concerned about this spike here, but other than that, I think we're doing pretty well. So that's our engine. And now, for the car name. I know we had our very first supercar in the beginning, the Nuova Via, and then the Cuneo as a replacement. And I have thought I would like to have some naming inspiration from the Nuova Via, but still have a short name, and basically came up with a new name. I will call it the Nuvia. So I made up this word. I hope it doesn't mean anything bad in any language. I googled it quickly and I think it's alright. There are a few companies with this name, mostly in the field of nuclear technologies, so I don't mind. That's fine with me. I came up with this word first. And then this is the Berlinetta, of course. So this car is basically based on a concept car and very much looks like it. So I hope I can create something special. Here I want to have a wing mounted in between. I think the original prototype also had that, but I think it fits this car just so nicely. I think that will be it. There are not too many options. We have to be creative. Let's paint it. Which color do we want to go with it? We had many red cars now. Yeah, maybe we can go with something like this. First, let's find some nice rims. These will be very important. I'll probably go with these. They look a little bit more old. The one thing I wanted to do is to have these 80s style black border around the car again. Although I'm not sure how it will work there in the front. But let's try at least. Few problems with the corners, as always. But we'll figure it out. For the headlights I will probably go for something custom again, because this shape is really hard to work with, and to find something that really fits into there is difficult. And also this gives us the chance to have something unique. I think this looks really outstanding. Really happy. So let's just cut the inside away, close it with a glass patch, and then make the inside. And now we have to go through all of these tiny bits and scale them in set direction so that we get the inside. So in our Group C car we use these truck lights, just checking if they look alright. I think they are not sophisticated enough. So this is our option 1, and probably our indicator has to go on top. Let's work on a few options again. I really like this asymmetrical work mode, so I can directly compare. It's probably a bit difficult to fill it with these two. I'll check with one large thing again. Yeah, this is really easy. I think I go with the single one. And then we need the indicator. And probably one smaller light up there for daytime running. Difficult, but the first part is done and it took me way too long. I don't want to know how long this took. So for the rest of the front I want to go with something very clean. So just have some brake inlets here and maybe some molding there in the front. Number plates will be difficult as well. Oh, actually, size is alright. So you could even fit my number plate on there. Okay, with some molding, can definitely make that work. The shape is not perfect. You can also try with some sausage vents. I think this shape more reflects the oval shape that we had at the Nuova Via. Gives it overall a more sleek look. Although I don't like that the number plate somehow defines the outside of this vent, so I want to have something in there. Yeah, I think this looks a bit better. And then let's add some badging. And I need some downforce at least, so I need also to integrate the lip, although that's always difficult. Very, very basic there. And now, while I think of it, before I forget again, wipers, or one wiper. Yeah, so this wiper definitely won't be able to cover all of the windscreen. It should be good enough. Then I want to have some air outlets here for the radiator. I'm not 100% sure how I can make that, but I'm experimenting. Not sure about this curve. Maybe I need to go for the straight bit. Alright, that's as good as it gets. And then let's try to get some grill material in there. And then let's work our way backwards towards some mirrors. So regarding the wheels, I have the problem that I cannot put wider wheels on there and that this offset here is not nice. So what I will do is just play with the advanced trim settings here. And also I will probably need different sized front and rear wheels. This doesn't look right. Now I'm not too confident anymore with the rims. I would like to have this offset here to be a little bit smaller. I think I go with the Viper rims. I think it's the only chance to use them. And then let's continue working on the side. I want to have some venting. And I think somebody asked about which vents do I use, and it's normally these L5s 12-in-1 vent. They normally work well on anybody. The only thing is that they are very small at the beginning. Well, I think like this is it's almost perfect. I'm not sure about the angle in general though. Maybe I need something that's more swoopy. So just so that it matches the rest of the car a bit more. And then the only major thing is the rear. And the rear is really not easy. The original had the taillights down there and it looked really, really bad. I don't know why they pay designers to come up with that. I need to come up with something up here. But let's first place the thing that I do know how I want to do it, and that's the wing. And I'll use the same venting as I had in the front, also there. Indicators, of course. Then in the rear I want to mirror this thing here in the bottom as a diffuser. The most difficult bit for me this time, of course, is again rear lights. I'm thinking about if I want to have another vent in there to mold it a little bit. And then for the taillights, yeah, the original one had something round, and we'll probably go for the same. Diablos might be a bit too much Diablo. think I'm pretty happy overall. This time I won't forget the fuel cap. I think that's basically it. Just turning out the curvature there. Turning that one down a bit. And then I think I'm basically happy. Don't know if it looks too much different from the front and the rear. At least I used round elements multiple times, and the big headlight, of course. Yeah, I think I'm good enough. Front is really nice. I like it. Rear is maybe a bit much. F50. Let me give the rear lights one more try. Rear looks now a bit Japanese again, but I can live with it. Let's go with this. The size could be cleaned up a little bit, but it's good enough for now. And let's head on into the interior. So I've been working on the interior now for a little bit. I'm quite happy. Seats are a little modern, but I think it's alright for a supercar. And some basic interior stuff as always. The shifter knob is maybe a little large. Other than that, I'm pretty happy. And the only thing that bugs me are the taillights. I think they are keeping the design from being a properly good one. So I need to rework the rear again. Oh god, this is really hard for me. Just gonna undo everything that I did because it's also not cutting out really nicely. I think I'm happy with that. And now I need to revise the color. Not too happy. Or maybe let's go with this. Doesn't look nice in the design room, of course, but in general I think it's good. Okay, so now let's make it into a usable car and see. So 308 kilometers an hour. I think we already have some downforce. Not too much, not really. I definitely want to have a little bit of downforce. I just want to not have any lift. This will not be a cornering monster. Is that enough? Is that enough? 500 horsepower. Well, I don't think Cisalpina needs to have the ultimate straight line monsters. So I think it's good enough if we can manage to reach 300. So a little bit of quality here and there maybe. And we can always turn it up a notch in future projects, of course. Weight-wise, we're pretty heavy for Cisalpina, but I think it's still okay. And now with proper brakes, it's also looking a bit better. Can reduce the cooling airflow a tiny bit, so that we can make 300 kilometers an hour. It doesn't hurt the reliability, it's not too good anyway. But we'll ignore that. Okay, and then for the interior, handmade or sport? That's the question. Sport would make it a lot lighter. Comfort goes down. Taking a look at the desirabilities. It's a little bit better with the handmade. Maybe sport with quality? I think that's what I prefer. Yeah, sport and quality. I want to shift the weight a little bit towards the front because it's really rear heavy. I have the time for the engineering to do that. It's also costing quite a bit in material cost because carbon fiber. Let's not do too much. And then try to fix suspension. Overall it's looking good. Going a little bit more towards the sporty side. Then I should maybe... Yeah, they are starting to complain about low comfort. And if they complain now, they will even more complain in the near future. Okay, 5 points more comfort definitely helps. I think then we have a pretty good car. Just have limited traction in first gear. And we're done. Just checking emissions again, but it should be alright as it's quite advanced. It has quite an advanced engine. Oh, nope. We fail, but only marginally. We're also running way too much compression, right? So let me check, maybe I can fix it with longer gearing. So close, but also the Spider will have problems then. Let's give it some aero quality. And some tire quality for less rolling resistance. Trying everything that I can. What is that, by the way? Carbon monoxide. Where's 8 2200, where's 9 2300. There's a typo and it should be the other way around, or this should be 25. Yeah, probably. Okay, Bellinetta is done, but we need the Spider, of course, as well. Okay, then engineering-wise, I'll give myself some time. Let's say 5 years, then it will be released in 1990. We have to get it to 60 months. We want to learn quite a bit to make carbon monocoques a bit easier for us in the future. And for the engine, the same. Here we have a lot more time, of course. We'll stick with the V12 engine factory, of course. Yeah, we need to keep all of the 3 trims. And it already said the engine factory will be overworked. Oh god. But I don't think I have placed it in a shed. So still a tiny shed for the supercar production. And the engine factory is already overworked. Yeah, we have way too much demand. We need a bigger car factory. How many are we building? We can just crank up the prices, of course. Let me first upgrade the engine factory. Oh, it's already a small 3. The Boreale will sell too much. I need to upgrade the factory config. Yeah, bring up the automation, tooling quality and so on to reduce the slowdown that we have. Quality control can be reduced. Yeah, just turn it up a bit. And we will keep it in the tiny shed. We will not produce many of the supercar. $90 and $104 are the target prices. With those, we are right where we need to be. And still it brings in quite a bit of money. Okay. So I think we're good for now. Project price currently, oh god, 209 million, mostly for the engine. That's challenging. But I won't sign it off now anyway, because I have different plans and additional plans. So we'll see that next episode. But for now, let's head to the track and see how the prototypes of the Nubia drive. Alright, here we are on the test track, and yeah, I spent more than 1 hour to make this car somewhat drivable. In the end, I totally redid suspension. I had to replace a front splitter, rear diffuser because they were scraping on the floor, and I had to change the tires. It was just not possible to keep it on the road on standard sports tires. We don't have semi-slicks yet in the campaign, so I just went for intermediate race tires. I think they look semi-slick-like enough. And what I also needed to do is mirror the right side rims so that they are all pointed into the right driving direction. Alright, and with that I hope we can get this going and keep it on the road. Let's see. I already like the noise it makes. I think the different differential choice makes a difference here. Yeah, it was so oversteery on throttle, and it still is, as you might see. But it's controllable now. Yeah, we do have ABS, but when you already start braking out of control, then you won't get it back. So yeah, definitely not easy. Turbo doesn't help either. Bit of short shifting could help there as well. Braking a straight line and it's fine. Yeah. Definitely a lot more confident on the brakes in this car. Now let's see what we can do. I also increased downforce a little bit just to keep it a bit more stable, so top speed might be slightly reduced. Also the straight is over until we reach top speed, so very stable now through here. Bavarian band. Okay, still have to brake a little bit earlier. Ouch. Bit too confident on the brakes there. Thought ABS would save me, but it won't. Still, again, not braking very much in a straight line ahead of Bavarian Bend. Good time, but definitely off of the Group C car. 2 or 3 seconds already in the first sector, which I think is... It's definitely realistic that we are slower than that, but it's still a very quick car. Bit out of shape, but I could keep it on the road. Yep, again, a bit too late. It's heavier, definitely. Trying to keep it under control this time. Ah, the gearbox does not like me today. Keeping it in third through Bavarian Bend helped a lot. Shit. I was already afraid of the upcoming corner, Adam's Apex. Didn't think I would crash before that. So this is it. This is the hot lap. I'm 100% sure. 100% confidence until the back steps out for the very first time, I guess. That was not too bad. Got to upshift into fifth gear. Very early on the brakes this time. Still managed to run wide. Not too much throttle through here. Early on the brakes. Very squirrely. But I got it. Never got so far. Over the crest. And through the final corner. There we go. The time looks very good. 202. Mid 202. So that's... ouch. So that's pretty good. Of course we're on racy tires. But I think they are a little bit more grippy than the Simu-Slicks in-game. But I think it's alright for this try. So, very, very quick supercar for peak 90s supercar season. We will see how we will get this on the road next time. Where we also do another project. Just in parallel to this one. And want to use some synergies, of course, between engines. You may now guess what that is. Leave your guess in the comments if you like to. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and see you all again next time. Bye bye.